When you're a company as old as Fender, you've got a lot of design traditions. Telecasters, Stratocasters, later on Jazzmasters, Jaguars, all the basses. People pretty much know who we are, what we do. If we say to the world, okay, here's an entirely new body shape, which is an offset so you can kind of see who its grandparents were, we still feel that there's a need to make the guitar make sense within our world at some level. We started out by saying its great-grandfather was a Telecaster, knowing full well that there was a lot of places we could take it later, and we have, as you see here. In the guitar world, it's really difficult to establish a new shape. There are only a handful of times that this happens and lives. It's really special, and for a company like Fender, as long as we've done things, as many things as we've done, and as well as we have done them, this is still immensely gratifying and a lot of fun for us.
So I'm holding here the brand new Ultra 2 Meteora. The origin of this guitar dates back to a few years ago when we released our first Meteora in the Parallel Universe series. That was a limited run of a lot of cool models that kind of mixed and matched different features and parts and DNA of various Fender models.
The Meteora family starts around 2011 with a Fender engineer named Josh Hurst. Josh is an inventor, he's a guitar builder, he's a player, he's also a fine artist, and he sketches all the time. He messed around a lot with futuristic guitar shapes because he kind of tends toward the angular in his own design. He also kind of knows what all those car sketches that we used to see from the 50s look like. This is one of the designs he started playing with. In the 2011 NAMM show, we had a private booth and we had a special area, and a prototype of this guitar was shown then. And it was just a concept guitar like a concept car would be. If we fast forward a few years later, Joey Brassler, who's one of our VPs in product development, happened to be walking by, saw it and said, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, that's a Meteora." He said, "What's a Meteora?" The Meteora went rather quickly and rather suddenly from being a concept car, if you will, to a design that we were going to flesh out and develop as a musical instrument.
So it debuted in that Parallel Universe series, and it was out of our Corona factory like these new Ultra 2s are. Shortly after that, we did another limited run of some Mexico-made ones in our Alternate Reality series, and then we debuted it in our Player Plus series as a permanent addition to the line, and that was kind of unusual. A lot of times limited editions come and go, and they don't stay around as permanent models in the line, but the Meteora did. Got a lot of interest, people really liked the design, and of course it harkens back to our offsets like the Jazzmaster.
Fender guitars are the coolest guitars. Aesthetically, the way they play, the way they sound, the people that have played them. The Strat is cool, the offset guitars represent extra cool to me. This weird, literally offset design, like a Strat that's, you know, tweaked in a way that's off-center and just sort of slanted, and something about that, I don't know how to put that into words, just represents cool to me.
For the Ultra 2 Meteora, we thought it was the perfect addition to the line because it's definitely a futuristic, forward-thinking version of, say, a Jazzmaster. And that's what the Ultra 2 series is all about. It's about modern versions or high-performance versions of all our popular models like Strats, Teles, Ps, and Js. So the Meteora felt like it was a perfect fit. Just like all the other guitars in the Ultra 2 series, there's some significant features here that make this guitar just play a little better, feel a little better, sound a little better. Starting with the neck. The neck has these beautiful rolled edges. We do rolled edges on a lot of our US models, but on the Ultra 2 series, we roll them just a little bit more. In addition, there's this great satin, Ultra Satin, similar to the other satin finishes we apply to our neck, but we have a little bit of an extra treatment here that makes it just extra smooth, and it's got a nice tint on there. The neck is a compound radius, so it's 10 to 14 inch compound radius. The tusk nut is a great addition to these guitars as well. There's a little bit less friction on a tusk nut. Another great feature of all these Ultra 2 guitars are the locking tuners, and you don't even have to turn the tuning key a full turn to get it to tune. So that's really convenient. All the Ultra 2 guitars have that. And then, of course, we're offering maple and ebony boards on all the Ultra 2 guitars. Ebony's definitely a premium wood that people love. I mean, it's almost like a cross between maple and rosewood and has a very smooth feel.
I'll shame myself by saying my other Meteora, my white one, we were playing in Europe and I had a few shows where the lights went completely out. And I'm so used to looking down and seeing the board that I had to Jedi it, and just relax and go, Chris, you know the board, just play it. But at the end of the night, I was somewhat terrified. I took a Sharpie and just made some dots on there so I could see. Was shooting the demo in the other room with this. When I stepped out of the light into the darkness, I looked down and all my dots lit up. That was the lightsaber moment for me. I was like, oh, this has got my back. It's a small thing, but for a guy that's on the road and every venue is different lighting and you never know when you're gonna be in the dark, that was just amazing to me.
This Meteora bass in the Ultra 2 line is particularly unique, mostly because of the pickups. These Haymaker pickups are fantastic. We made a unique set for the Meteora guitar. There's also a unique set of Haymaker humbuckers for the bass, and they're literally humbuckers made out of jazz bass pickups. 2 jazz bass single coils wired together in humbucker fashion. They have clarity, they have punch, they have low end, and they have great output. It's really gonna give players flexibility, especially with the controls. We have a brand new preamp to accompany these great new Haymaker humbuckers. The passive tone control works in both active and passive mode, which is something we didn't have on our other preamp. We've completely revoiced the preamp, so it's got really nice mids, great highs. You can actually dial in the mids a lot better on this preamp because we have a very flexible frequency selector switch. By default, the preamp is on, and to turn it off, you press the S1 switch in. This is kind of a neat feature too because it's kind of hidden in the knob, so you can almost not even see the switch, and it's right there under your finger. So as you're playing, you can really adjust whether you're in active or passive mode, like seamlessly. It's right there. The double humbucker setup here of the Meteora is a whole different thing. It's kind of more high performance. It allows you to get a lot of really nice chunky sounds. The Ultra 2 Meteora also has this wonderful sculpted neck heel here that allows you to get right in there. The bigger bends in the upper registers, you can get right in there. The heel doesn't get in the way, super comfortable. So that's another great feature.
The most important thing to me about playing a guitar, I think just has to be comfort. It's just gonna help me play, and stuff is gonna come out in a natural way as opposed to this battle. I don't wanna have to battle the guitar. I want it to be a friendship. If you looked up, the definition of comfort in the dictionary, there would be a picture of the Ultra 2 Meteora. It's very, very comfortable.
This is a model that carries Leo's ethos through of always evolving the instruments, constantly changing the instruments. Leo Fender never stopped designing. He went from the Telecaster, he evolved that into the Stratocaster, then he came out with the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar. Each time he was trying to top himself and make each model the next best thing. So this is kind of in that same vein, evolving the Jazzmaster into this shape that we now call the Meteora and seeing where that's really going to take us in the future.
For me, the cool thing about Meteora is that it can be such a chameleon, structurally and musically, and make good sense. That does not happen all the time. I've been in the business 50 years, I've been at Fender 28 years, and I am hard put to think of many guitars where you can take a single design and do as much as we can with this one here. I hope a lot of people get a chance to try this as an instrument, as a tool, and find inspiration in it. Because if we don't give people a reason to play these things, nothing really matters. And I think this is a really, really cool tool. And I'm looking forward to see what people can do with it.